All right, good evening. There's an update from Edgbaston where Rahul Dravid, the head coach, did come out for a press briefing after India had a practice session earlier this evening. And a lot of questions were asked. In fact, everybody wanted to know what's the exact status on Rohit Sharma. So Rahul Dravid did share his inputs. Of course, he refused to disclose any information pertaining to the 11 that India might field on Friday. That's the day when the test match begins. This is the one-off test, but it is of course an extension of the series that was rescheduled after India were leading 2-1, and a spate of COVID cases came in the Indian camp, and Team India returned home as there were a lot of COVID cases. So I'm going to, in fact, already the questions have started to come in about Rohit Sharma. The first question that head coach Rahul Dravid was asked was specifically on Rohit Sharma. What exactly is the status of Rohit Sharma, whether he is available or not? So what Rahul Dravid says that firstly he is maintained that Rohit Sharma has not been ruled out yet, and there are still 36 hours left. So what happens now is Rohit Sharma will undergo a COVID test today, that is this evening, and will again take a COVID test tomorrow in the morning. And that is when the team management will take a final call on his availability. Now that raises a question that on the basis of he has not practiced too much, and he played that warm-up game in Leicester. I can't say against Leicester because there were too many Indian players also there. So he played the first innings. Thereafter, he tested positive for COVID and has been in isolation since then. Now, so going by what Rahul Dravid says, because he was the next question that he was asked was whether Jasprit Bumrah will lead that team in case Rohit Sharma is not available. So Dravid said that he's not at liberty to disclose that information and will come from the official sources. And who's the official source? The chairman of the selection committee, that is Chetan Sharma, has already reached Birmingham from Dublin, where he was for the two T20 international that India played against Ireland. So he is also there. So most likely, if the information has to come, will come either from Chetan Sharma, the chairman of the selection committee, or from the BCCI press release. So that's what we are expecting. But according to Rahul Dravid, Rohit Sharma has not been ruled out yet. Although it looks highly unlikely if Rohit Sharma will be able to make it to that 11, considering he has not played too much of cricket lately. Now, Jasprit Bumrah. So he was asked, what sort of a situation does India find itself in, the team find itself in, because before the tour began, you did not announce a vice captain. So Dravid did admit that they had a vice captain, KL Rahul. Unfortunately, he got injured. He had that groin injury, and of course a few other issues. So that's what happened. But never ever during the entire press meet, in fact, which lasted almost 20-25 minutes, did Rahul Dravid disclose anything as far as the captaincy is concerned, anything as far as the opening combination is concerned, anything as far as the top order is concerned. Now, so he was asked exactly 7 questions in this press conference. One, Rohit Sharma, what's the update? That I've already told you. 36 hours still left. He'll undergo a COVID test today, then in the morning tomorrow, and in the evening. Rahul Dravid said that in the evening they'll have a team meeting, which is when they will decide on the final playing 11. Second question, of course, was asked about the playing 11. So he said tomorrow in the evening they'll have a clarity as to what is Rohit Sharma's status. So that is when they are going to pick their 11. Although there was a contradictory statement later in the press conference. I'll come to that. And he was also asked about the England, the way England has been playing. They've been playing attacking cricket against New Zealand. So does that bother the team or Rahul Dravid as head coach? He said no. So he was, obviously there are a few things. He did admit that, coming to England just to play a one-off test is a difficult scenario, is a difficult proposition. But he did admit that even India's approach and the brand of cricket that India has played and has been playing is also a positive one. Last World Test Championship, India were the finalists. This World Test Championship, India are currently at third spot. So you just can't rule out India as far as this particular test match is concerned, although it will be difficult. So he said that we are not bothered about their strengths, their approach. We are more bothered about our strengths. Now, the fourth question that he was asked was Virat Kohli. His form. Everybody has been debating and discussing about Virat Kohli's form. It's been over 2 years since he scored his last international 100. So Rahul Dravid, who has himself gone through these kind of phases in his career, he said he's not too bothered. The kind of hunger that Virat has shown, in the last few months, years. So he doesn't lack motivation. If that was the question, or if that's the issue that is bothering Virat Kohli, he doesn't lack motivation. And he said it's not just about three-figure marks. He's been scoring runs. He's getting those important knocks, and the one that he got, the 70 odd runs that he scored against South Africa in Cape Town. He said it's the contribution and the impact that actually makes the difference, because in India people usually associate the success with the centuries. So that's not going to happen every time. It's also about your contribution and the impact of your innings, whatever it may be. Now, captains. In last 5 months, India will now have, in case Rohit Sharma is not available for this particular test match, Bumrah. We are expecting Bumrah to lead the Indian team. So Dravid said, he's not too bothered. It's the situation that the team finds itself in, because you need to rotate your players. You need to also because of the COVID situation that exists today. And but he's not complaining about the results, except for the South Africa Test series, where he thinks that India should have won the series because they were leading 1-0 in that series. But a few injuries to key players, affected the momentum. Then he was asked about the opening combination. That was because Mayank Agarwal was flown in as a cover for Rohit Sharma. Now, on the basis of just two practice sessions, can Mayank Agarwal be considered for the opening slot? If not, then can Rohit Sharma, who's not played competitive cricket for the last competitive match that he played, of course, was in Leicester. That was one inning, and before that it was Mumbai Indians last match. That was in I think 21st or 22nd of May. So it's been a long time. So on the basis of that, just one practice game where he just batted in one inning, can Rohit Sharma come in? And if Rohit Sharma can come in, why can't Mayank Agarwal? And if Pujara opens for India with Shubman Gill, then does that disrupt the top order? Because if Pujara, who usually bats at number 3, if he opens with Shubman Gill, then you have to bring in Hanuma Vihari at number 3. So that was the question. But I think Dravid didn't like the question too much, or maybe he liked the question, but he didn't want to disclose anything as far as 11 was concerned. He said we have a clarity in our mind, which I believe what he meant was they just need a clarity on Rohit Sharma. If Rohit Sharma is not available, then they know who their opening who their openers would be. So that's the clarity that Dravid insists that the team management has, but he's not at liberty to disclose any information or the 11, which usually used to happen. In fact, we've seen that. In fact, till the previous regime, when Virat Kohli was the captain under with Ravi Shastri as the head coach, we've seen a few times that India had disclosed their playing 11 on the eve of the match or a couple of days before the match. But from day one, Rahul Dravid has made it very clear that he'll keep his cards close to his chest, and he doesn't believe in sharing the 11 to the press, to anybody for that matter. So that's interesting. So basically, the more important thing here is I don't know how likely it is for Rohit Sharma to make it to that 11, although at this point in time it looks highly unlikely. But Rahul Dravid insists that 36 hours still left. Rohit Sharma, they'll wait if he gets fit or for his COVID reports, which of course one test he'll take tonight, this evening, and one test tomorrow morning, and thereafter tomorrow evening they'll have a team meeting, and after that they will be ready with their 11. So what's going to be the team combination? So Jasprit Bumrah, the question was asked if Rohit Sharma is available, will Jasprit Bumrah be the captain? Well, the entire press conference that lasted close to 20-25 minutes, not once did Rahul Dravid take Bumrah's name, and said, we'll still wait for Rohit's COVID reports, and any information that has to come from the official sources, which could be BCCI press release or from the chairman of selection committee, that is Chetan Sharma, who presently is in England in Edgbaston with the team. Today Mayank Agarwal did train with the team. Tomorrow again he'll practice. He'll have another practice session. Rohit Sharma, of course, is still in isolation, didn't come out for the practice, which means that he is still positive. So anyway, so this is what happened in that entire press conference. I've given you the talking points, if you can call them as talking points. That's what Rahul Dravid said. So we'll come back tomorrow, perhaps with more clarity as to what has happened, and hopefully India will have its final 11 tomorrow, because day after tomorrow it's going to be a historic test match. It's going because India already are leading 2-1 in this series, and if they win this test match, it will be a huge achievement. So for now, I'll take your leave. See you tomorrow, and do subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest updates, not just on cricket but also other sports. See you. Bye bye.